Welcome back, you guys, for part 2 author talk. Sandy, who do we have?
We have Elizabeth. Elizabeth, tell us your full name and what your role is with WriteFest Houston.
Sure, happy to. And my name is Elizabeth White Olson, and I'm the founding director of WriteFest. And we're here today to talk about WriteFest, which is the third year since its inception, and we're working with the Houston Writers Guild, and we're really excited about it.
And one of the things I'm so excited about is I love it when writers groups come together. I was telling them that when we had a meeting on Saturday of the volunteer organizers, which, by the way, Elizabeth, I have to tell you, that was so impressive that we had the room packed.
Yeah.
It was standing room only
for
a volunteer meeting. Oh my gosh.
It was fantastic.
And I love hearing your story, Elizabeth, about when you first started WriteFest. Can you tell us that again?
Yeah, sure. So at the time I was teaching writing in print, and I found I really, really loved teaching. And I wanted to teach more writing workshops. And so I was looking for opportunities. I didn't find a lot of opportunities in Houston. And so I decided to start a space where that can happen. I love great literature. I guess you could call me a craft geek. I really love the way stories come together and come alive. And I love to know how they work, and I love sharing the power of stories with other people. So really it was, for my own desire to share my knowledge. But first and foremost, I love authors. I love writers. They are so courageous. I mean, how many people will work for months and sometimes years on end without pay to create a book, which might or might not be accepted by a publisher, and which might or might not be read by readers. I mean, it's a really courageous act, and it's one that is always life-giving to the people who read books and to people who write them. So that's why we're here.
And that is so great, because that's so aligned with my working with authors, and how I've always felt it was just an honor that they work with you and share their thoughts. And
it's the writing community is unlike any other. I really believe it. Maybe there's a couple nearly as supportive and team-oriented, people working together, but I haven't been in them before. I mean, writers are so generous with their knowledge and with their connections and with their time. If you look at all the critique groups around town that are happening, people are just, it's like that room full of volunteers. We're all doing this for the love of stories and for each other. It's a beautiful thing.
And Elizabeth, there are so many authors in the city that we don't know about, and they don't know about us.
Yeah.
So I was looking at, someone sent me information on an upcoming book event of my husband, actually, from this little bookstore up in Spring. Is having a Houston author event, independent author event. And I looked down the list of authors that are going to be there, and not one name did I recognize. And it just made me feel sad to feel like that there's so many authors out there, and how do we reach them, and how do we let them know what about WriteFest and all the opportunities that are available here for them, and not just WriteFest, although that's what we're focusing on right now, but long term, how do we let them know about WriteFest? So you and I are going to have some conversations about that after WriteFest. Right now we're working on WriteFest and getting people there.
Sandy, it's all social media. That's how you get things known.
Really, Amy? Oh my gosh.
It is. Oh my gosh. I know, the light bulb went on. I know.
She's a little unhappy today, I'd say, because we skipped her from lunch.
No, y'all didn't tell me, and you thought I'm sitting on waiting. That's y'all. Y'all fired. I'm on fire, y'all. Y'all are fired.
You're not the first, and nor are you the last.
So you might guess this is not Monday morning. This is Wednesday afternoon, and Russell and I just showed up.
It was going until you just mentioned it. It was totally believable.
Well, we know you can't. Sandy can't keep secrets. That's not even a secret.
Sandy doesn't try.
No, I tried so hard, Sandy. It was good until we started part 2. Dang it.
Okay, so I want to talk to Cassie for a minute. She's sitting right beside Elizabeth.
A former star of her own podcast.
And so, Cassie, how long have you been with WriteFest?
Well, I've been with WriteFest as sort of doing admin stuff for about a year. which is crazy. It only feels like a couple of months. But I've been teaching with WriteSpace and volunteering with WriteSpace for about 3 years.
Nice.
Wonderful. And so I met so many people on Saturday that are volunteers for WriteSpace. And how did you, as a volunteer, become now on staff? I guess is a good way to put it. Is that a good way to put it? You're on staff.
Sure. I got hired the way anybody does. I filled out an application and came in for a series of interviews. Elizabeth did ask me to apply, and I was happy to make a change. I've been working as an adjunct, and I was a little tired of getting paid like 5 cents an hour. So I was ready to shift over to something else.
So great. So you're an author yourself, right?
Yes, I am.
And what do you write?
So I write science fiction mostly, and I've started dabbling in poetry recently.
Wow.
Sandy, ask them how to register early for WriteFest.
Yes. Well, that is
Would
a
you?
great question, Russell. So since we are talking about WriteFest, Cassie, how do they register, or how do they get more information and find out about the whole week-long event?
Well, the best thing would be to go to the website, which is writefesthouston.com. And it has everything you need to know. It has links to the registration. We are actually coming up on some registration deadlines. The weekday workshops that we're offering, those will be cutting off on the 22nd at midnight because we have to get ready to kind of prepare for the classes. And we're also going to be cutting off registration for pitch sessions with agents and editors also on the 22nd at midnight.
Okay, that was a very important point you need to pay attention to if you're an author, is the pitch sessions is one of the best parts of the conferences. And I highly recommend that you consider trying to be a part of that, and you don't want to miss that deadline. So thank you for bringing that up. That's a very important thing.
Yay. So Pitch Fest. So most authors know what that means, right? Elizabeth, tell them what a pitch fest is. What do they do? What does an author do?
A pitch session is
Pitch session.
Yeah, it's a writer who has a manuscript will pitch the idea to an agent or editor, and there's different types of pitches, but essentially it's like the nutshell of your story. You know, you want to share the main character's obstacle, and a little teaser about what what may happen near the end. But yeah, so you're selling your idea to an agent or editor, and it's really great. We're bringing people in from many different places around the country. Of course, several agents from New York City, and it's an opportunity for a writer to one-on-one meet an agent, get their book published and change their lives. I mean, it's really fantastic.
And how long does each pitch session last?
Pitch sessions are 15 minutes.
15 minutes, Kathy?
Yeah, 15 minutes.
Okay, so it's 15 minutes for you to be on, right? You're like on stage, on the bed.
Yes, but I really, it can be anything you want it to be, and a lot of times it's just good to just, always really just to be authentic. Yeah, you are selling something, but what you want to do is really just have your love for your story come through, and it can be a relaxed time. It can be a time when you ask that agent or editor questions, because it's not just that you're selling something. They're on sale too. You don't want to, you want to ask, will this be someone who I would want to work with? So you want to ask them about things that might be of concern to you, like their response time, their success rate, how many books they're working with currently. You want to make sure they don't have a overloaded list of books that they're trying to sell to presses. So it can be, it should be relaxed, it should be fun, it should be heartfelt and authentic, and it's, like I say, it's an opportunity to ask questions too.
That's awesome. So that's one of the highlights of WriteFest. Another one is our keynote speaker. So Cassie, have you met him?
I have not.
I haven't either. I've been trying to meet him.
No,
So we'd love to have you on Author Talk, Justin Cronin. We want to hear about your book, The Passage, the series of books, and how you got to be such a bestseller in a short time. So if you're listening to this, or if anyone listening knows him, we would love to be in touch with him. So any other highlights we should tell people about?
We have 5 tracks of programming. So that's panels, presentations, workshops that are available to anybody who comes to the weekend festival. We're also doing roundtable discussions. So those are a little bit different in that you get to participate in the conversation, and they're going to be genre based. So if you're a mystery writer, you can come to the mystery roundtable, meet a mystery writer who'll be facilitating, meet other mystery writers who'll be participating.
Oh, wow.
It's super fun.
Russell, that's right up your alley, right?
Yes, it is.
And Russell has been showing us pictures while Kathy and I and Elizabeth and I are talking. He's showing in the background the place where we will actually be holding WriteFest, which is in the area of, is it Sawyer Yards? Is that what it's called, or what is it called?
Yeah. It's the Sawyer Yards Arts Complex. We're Write Spaces in Silver Street Studios, and WriteFest will be held across the parking lot in Winter Street Studios. So it's really inspiring environment because it's artist studios really, and we're part of the creative community here. That's what it's going to be held.
And so there's a picture of it. There's a picture of the, because right now Photo Fest is going on with pictures and exhibits and displays from India. So that's been interesting. Walking around that entire building was great. So Amy, we want to introduce you to one of our, from Houston, she was on earlier. So she's one of the WriteFest. This is Carmen, and honestly, I cannot pronounce your name, so I have to see it written first. But would you tell what your name is again? I'm sorry.
You have to yell it.
Yell it. Can you yell your name?
Okay.
Good. So, Amy, I want to make sure that you meet her when you're here because she said she and Josh might have some horror stories they could share.
Okay.
From India too?
She's from Houston.
Oh, I know her family.
Her family's from India and from South India.
So. Nice. Okay, I'll make Joshua come with me then, because I'm sure
she can bring him. Okay.
He'll have stories.
So make sure Josh watches this so he'll see it. Okay.
I told him about coffee with Russell, and I texted that to him, and he's just overexcited. He's just like, "When are we doing coffee with Russell?"
Oh, good.
Yeah.
Well, we're going to start wrapping this up so they can get back to work and we can be home before the traffic gets horrible. So thank you, Cassie, and thank you, Elizabeth, for letting us just crash your party today. And we'll be back next Thursday because that's when we were scheduled to be here to start with. And I am glad we came and tested everything out. We got rid of a few bugs that we'll not have to worry about next week when we have
Russell has something to say.
Yes.
He always has.
If you're watching this on YouTube, please make a comment or like it so it helps our algorithm, and we'll save our social media question, I guess, till next time, Amy.
Well, I thought
since you were so busy doing the social media, curing all of our problems as we're trying to do this podcast.
It's okay. I need to process what Mark Zuckerberg said anyway, so it works.
Yeah,
out.
we want to hear the social media person's response to Mark Zuckerberg and his.
I'm gonna have to censor it.
Okay, so Elizabeth, Cassie, we'll see you guys next Thursday, and this will be aired on Monday. So we'll see everybody else. And Amy, I thought what we would do is do a quick live Monday morning, talk about the question, and then introduce them to these videos. What do you think?